allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. We have a relatively light agenda. We are 2 members shy tonight, but we still have a quorum. Have the board members present and an opportunity to review the previous minutes?
Yes.
If so, can I get a motion to accept?
Motion.
Let's see, who's gonna second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. We have a fortunate but unfortunate situation. Our beloved Matt Linehan, our village attorney, who has served us very well for the last 6 years. Well, I had other choice words, but that was the best I could come up with. Has taken on a position with the county as the county attorney. In lieu of that, and conflict of interest, he no longer can serve on our board as counsel. We are sad and sorry to see him go, but are extremely grateful for your insight, for your going above and beyond, your guidance, your support through a lot of challenges that we've faced. The rewriting of contracts, the legalese that we're not familiar with and privy to, is just above and beyond, and not to mention that you're a great guy and become a good friend. Mm-hmm. So we're sorry to see you go, but on behalf of the board, I'd like to present this with you.
Thank you very much.
To you and your wife. Thank you for your service.
Congratulations. We'll be in touch. Been a pleasure.
I might mow some crop circles in your garden.
I might need to protect you from that.
You might even get beaten by the Rotary Club.
Yeah.
Think of that.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. You've done a great job. Yes, yes.
Thank you.
And it's not just the regular attorney services that you think that happen on a regular municipal board, but it's above and beyond. I mean, I learned a lot through you. Maybe a better leader and made this board more cohesive. And I know your help with Alyssa and your relationship with her was second to none. So yeah, you're gonna be missed.
Well, I appreciate that.
Keep looking for a replacement. How long before your son goes to law school?
Well, it's not looking good.
I'm sorry.
All right. You can edit that out, right?
We do have one guest. I'm going to move along with Sue Gaiter, representing the Crossroads Garden Club.
Hello.
Hi, Sue.
Alright, so, to make this happen quickest, I put too many of these together. Small group today, I see. Okay, so this I presented to, you already got one? Gold majors, that I'll briefly go over. I'm kind of glad that I was at Gold Majors. I am a Gold Major, and I was village representation, I guess. Brian Smith is enjoying his honeymoon right now, and and Mayor John, you were probably planning out this meeting, weren't you?
Yes.
So there wasn't any representation for the village, so I was kind of glad I put this together. Oh yeah, you do have one. And then what we're going to go over is this email that I sent you, but I will apologetically say I sent this to you just before.
I got it.
Good?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's really, in a nutshell, what I am here for. Do you find some statement or find some? There. Okay. Yes, you don't. Oh, yes, you do. I did something. Okay, and then this is just for you to take home. Pretty much. Great. Look at that. Flipped around. No, blank papers. My husband's company, and I'm saying this online, wow. a lot of their paper. Way more than I needed to. Oh, it's like every other. Sure, of course. Hang there, I'll get you everything.
Okay, thank you.
Let's not give you a blank paper. You don't. And this is the beginning. Alright, so, let me go over the community newsletter just quickly. What was mentioned at Golden Acres is about the German festival this weekend, so you don't see that on there. I started out with nature crawl that Be Well in Lima and Crossroads Garden Club is going to be doing the weekend before July 4th, so June 27th. So it's just letting you know the explanation of it, where it's starting. You'll see more information on social media about it. As of the start of yesterday, I think I submitted it. And then we're talking about the civic beautification. And just overall, I will go over that. Veteran Way 250 Challenge. Just letting you know, Be Well in Lima and not civic beautification. Take a deep breath, Sue, maybe you'll be able to get through this. Veterans Way 250 Challenge is associated with semi-quincentennial. Be Well in Lima put this together back July 4th of last year. We have at least 4 entries that they've made the 250 laps. I was working on it, but unfortunately for 3/4 of that time, I have been having physical liabilities, issues, and even Coda couldn't go for a walk. So I'll never make it to 250 laps before July 4th. Then July 4th extravaganza, I put everything down here that is happening on July 4th. You know, no matter what, we're enhancing Mayor John's July 4th extravaganza, where he starts out the day before for years back, 4 o'clock, around 6 o'clock, and as you can see, we added a parade that Dan Proctor is organizing, 9 a.m. at Lima Primary Elementary, and it's a longer route than even our Memorial Day parade, because it's going to end at Mark Tubbs Park, and then after the parade, there'll be a Classic Americruise car show from 11 to 4 with a 3 p.m. award ceremony. And the award ceremony is not just for the car show, it's also going to be for Veterans Way 250, and it's going to be for the parade. So that'll be a little longer. And Mayor John will tell you all about his 6 food vendors along with craft vendors, old-fashioned games, gotta have them, Mayor John? Love how I call him Mayor John. And then there's, of course, Cannons for Cannon fundraiser that the Kiwanis is doing. Looking ahead, July 11th, we will have Daughters of American Revolution doing a dedication ceremony at Oak Ridge Cemetery because the founder of Lima is there, Paul Davison. So I do not have the time on that. I am interacting with her right now to find out that time. She's supposed to be putting out a flyer at some point in time via social media. And then, let's jump to the email, and you'll see a bunch of images. So Crossroads Garden Club I formed the end of last year, actually. I've already got, I don't know how many members, but one of my members is John Cates. And Lori, thank you for coming. Christopher Doe. And there is Ben Dotsway. So you know a lot of representation of Crossroads Garden Club right here. And what I am trying to propose is to have what actually was the beginning of what Karen Hansen Fritz had, that was good, had put together back in 2015. She had put together a civic beautification that only survived a couple years. And I don't want that to happen with us. But part of this, I wanted to put together a continuation of what she was doing, and that's the civic beautification project. What you have, it was a paper clip, is images. And I just want to quickly go over the images. And as you can see, the first two images, 7876 and 7879, give you the pocket park that's on Lake Avenue, that's across from the fire department, going in and out, and up behind American Hotel. And we really need to work on, that's one of the very first projects that I would like to see. Hopefully, who knows, maybe it's not 2026, maybe it'll be 2027. And that is those, all of those items that are in those pocket parks are rusting away. So the need for sandblasting, power washing, powder coating, whatever you call it, powder, I think coating. It looks like some kind of a project that is in need of some time in the future. I wanted to make sure that everybody's aware. I have presented to Karen Gardener of the Year. I went to her home and she well deserved it. And there was consensus from our club that we've all felt that she really definitely needed this. And I really am so gracious and gratitude of having her accept it. She really, I welcomed her to be in the Memorial Day parade, and I even welcomed her in July 4th parade as being escorted. But you know, she's a behind the person type person, and she really didn't want to be recognized that way. But she welcomed me putting it on Facebook, so you might have seen it in the past. And then the next page, Lori is in it. I am in it. And I need my spectacles. Myself, Lori, Linda Ainsworth, and
Was her name Nancy?
Nancy Charlotte. She lives on Doran Road.
Okay.
We all worked on both of the pocket parks that Mayor John was nice enough to assign us two of the pocket parks. And what we did with that one park, you'll see, no you won't. Well, those first two pictures are that pocket park, and it's very vacant, not much to it. So I donated my pavers that I have at my home, and too high up, put a square planter in it, and that's what you see there. That we're it was actually Beth and Brenda from American Hotel. Beth was doing her cottage. She's trying to work on a cottage garden over behind American Hotel. She took this picture. I give you image 79, 71. Mayor John was going to present this to Ben Luft about how that really should be discarded. It's unsafe. It's, you know, it used to have a dome on it, and those spikes are sticking up, and it's just a mess. Mayor John had mentioned that Casella is supposed to take care of that, and they never really do. So I'm going to up front, as the Crossroads Garden Club beautification project, very first thing I would ask of is instituting a carry in, carry out. You know, why do we have trash there? It is a ground for people just to dump their stuff. You know, they have garage sales. They don't get rid of it all. Where do they put it? At the trash, and then it sits there forever. And actually this picture, 79, 71, the trash that was in that is probably from last year. It's disgusting smell. Gotta get it out of there. And then 79, 95 is the other pocket park that we're assigned, which is Genesee Street, West Main Street. Again, donations that were provided to me for my garden sale that I have every year for Alzheimer's Association. Apparently I gave you a picture. 8053 is just, well, not supposed to go with you. And then, but it's a pretty picture.
So we put a pond in somewhere.
Yeah.
Downtown pond.
8164 is one of the village signs, entry signs coming in. And I actually took that picture today because that one and the one on the bottom, 8167, which is the other pocket park, I've had this conversation with Ben Luft in regards to, not quite sure what's a weed and what's not a weed, but I can tell you those are all weeds. And, you know, that's what we could help with, and that's what I want the beautification project to entail, is to literally help together, collaborate together, and get all these public areas to literally look pristine. There's no reason why there can't be. We all could work together to make sure that it is. it's important that, even at a county level, you know, people see our place, see Lima, and we want to be proud of Lima. And right now, when the way these things come up and look, it doesn't look good. I'm sorry to say, guys, it doesn't look good. And so then the last one I want to share with you, and hopefully maybe Karen is hearing this, because this is the square planter that is in front of Walt's business. So it's on the, let me get the direction right, northeast side. And as you can see, maybe you can't because these pictures are, do you see the mold? See the algae? Do you see on 8165 and in front of that begonia plant is, that's all algae, that's green, that's growing in there.
And what is the algae growing on?
So that was noticed by actually, I don't know if you noticed it, there's extra plants that are in the square planters.
You're talking about the Lima planters?
Correct. They started out with 4 or 5 petunias. Honestly, I thought, well, maybe we ran out of flowers and that's why they had minimal. But one of our girls at club took initiative to add flowers. Added calla lily, begonias, geraniums. And she had noted that this specific planter, and I know because of our holiday display that we put in there, that soil was really bad. And it showed today, when I noticed, you'll see now, all 4 planters, that planter's not growing very well.
Okay.
And the other 3 are. So I'm done.
First of all, thank you for taking the time to present this. I wanted to read your email to everybody just so they can get a better idea of what your mission statement would be. And basically, you want the Garden Club to lead in developing a long-standing group that their mission is to collaboratively join forces, assure joint efforts are shared from all responsible parties, and are aware of each other's job descriptions, but mostly institute community pride. So I'm all on board with that. I think we can move forward with this and start individual meetings where I can attend and represent Ben. If there's any questions that I have, and we can bring Ben in person.
Sure.
So that we can have, you know, clear lines of communication
Yeah.
with the club and what you want to do and what we can do, and with what means we have.
Right, right. I mean, as you, I think I say, it's long-standing. This isn't something that's gonna go on for a couple meetings and we're done. No, this is gonna be existing.
But we can't just have individual garden club members just come out and start planting random.
No, exactly, and that's the reason for policy, and also job description is huge. What's happening, and you know, I have a conversation with one person, and then from there, I get from another, and what has happened is, no one knows what their job description is, and what their role is what they need to do. One person will say, oh, I'm supposed to work on the outside of the front town hall, supposed to take care of it, and then the other person says, no, I only take care of the inside of the building, not the outside. So there's an example.
Okay.
Job description, policy. We don't have it. And it's commonly, people will be repetitively doing things, and I don't want that. I don't want Crossroads Garden Club overdoing and doing above and beyond what somebody else has already done. I want everybody to work together.
When's your next meeting in the club?
I don't have one, I can't give you that.
Okay.
I will tell you, because of July 4th festivities,
Yeah.
it would, probably I would steer towards having one in August, first part of August.
So at this point, there's no
No meeting.
movement or actions to make any changes to any of the planters or
Correct,
the
this is
club
me
parts
just
of this side?
presenting to everyone
Okay.
what I'm thinking should happen, and hope that it does happen.
I think the visualization, excuse me, now I got yours, visualization factor,
Yeah.
is really key, so we can get a good vision for what you're thinking, and
Yeah.
so we can see
Right.
the colors, the flowers, and how beautiful it'll be
Mhm.
before we do it, just so you don't put extra effort into something that, you know,
You
may
mean the
not be.
extra effort of excessively printing out?
No, as far
I'm
as
just kidding.
planting and
Just kidding.
repotting. But I like everything you're bringing to us. We're grateful for all the extras, especially on the 4th of July, the parade and the Merry Cruise and all the activities that we're looking forward to are just gonna be a nice, accent to, our existing events, so thank
And
you.
as far as I know, I have Dan Proctor on board with this, and I am on board with this, that we do continue, I mean, yes, we're doing the parade and the car show for semi-quincentennial, but we might be seeing this every year.
Yeah,
That's up to you guys, though.
oh,
You
as
can
long
handle
as
all
I
day
can,
event.
as long as I can walk, I'll be able to do
All
it.
right.
Thanks,
You're
Susan.
welcome.
Any other questions for Susan, comments?
Thank you.
Moving
welcome.
along, Chief Jerry, I believe I saw you walk in, yes, sir. You wanna report on the fire department, please?
Sure. There's really nothing on the front page to highlight, and there's something at the end there I want to take a couple minutes to, so I'll try to get through the rest of it pretty quick. We are supporting 4th of July, the Child's will be in the parade, and then we'll be down there supporting the fireworks display to make sure the field doesn't catch on fire, and coordinate to make sure it's mowed and like normal things like that. 17th of October is the rescheduled date for the mass casualty incident plan. It's gonna be here in Lima, involve a lot of neighboring departments and the school district, as well as county assets, so I can talk to you about that plan, but that's the new date for it, we're just kind of putting that together now. The FEMA grant period, or application process did open up. The deadline is the 22nd of June, so we're working on our narrative right now, I have it for review. We'll get our application in on that on time, and that is gonna be $250,000 for the replacement of SCBA's. Still haven't heard about the New York State grant. They were supposed to announce in May. They have not made any announcement yet, so I'm hoping later this month we'll find out one way or the other. We did have hose testing last month. A little bit disappointing. I figured we would lose one length, maybe two. We actually lost 3 lengths of our large diameter hose.
Is that the 5-inch?
What's that?
Is that the 5-inch?
5-inch, yeah. So they're $1,100 each. So I ordered 2 of them. We had one, essentially a spare in reserve. So I ordered 2 to get us back up to speed. So that's $2,730, which I had in my end of the year bills in there that I submitted. I still have 2 outstanding bills for the end of the year, things that were ordered before the end of the year, but just haven't come in yet. So I don't have the invoices, and that's totals about $1,300. One from Whitmer for about $700, and then up at the DT Mower for about $600. So the last thing I wanted to talk about was tanker 236. Now that we've gotten through the pumper issue, so tanker 236 is our oldest vehicle in the fleet over there. It has 2 pretty significant issues with it that make it a bit of a problem for us. Number one, it's a manual transmission, so there's only about 5 people that can drive it. Manual transmission is not a skill that is very prevalent anymore in the people that are coming up. They just haven't learned to drive a stick shift.
How many years?
What's that?
Just 5 speed?
Yeah. So we just don't have a lot of guys that can drive it. The other thing is that that tanker was purchased at a very, very good price, 35 years ago when it was new. And it was at a pretty good price because it doesn't have a pump on it. At the time, we had a lot more members, and it's a manpower intensive. When you need to get the water out of it, you have to dump it into a portable pond. You have to set that pond up. It takes 4 or 5 guys.
Is that just a gravity feed?
It's just a gravity feed. You open up the
Is that
dump
huge?
and it just comes out the end. So the more current and more efficient way is to, pump the water off into a truck, and it serves as a nurse truck, and that's a one-man operation. That truck doesn't have that capability. So we are on the hunt for, something similar that, is automatic so that everybody can drive it, and 2, has a pump on it so it can serve as a nurse truck. So we are constantly scouring the used apparatus. So we have a team of guys right now, led by Rick Krigo and a few of our other line officers that are over in Caledonia right now, looking at a tanker that they have for sale. So it's only
With a pump?
It's got a pump, and it's the same size, 2,000 gallons, and it's an automatic. And we think we might be able to get that truck for under $30,000.
Wow.
So, but the problem is, it's only 6 years newer than ours. So what are we gonna get out of that? Maybe 10 years, right? Ideally. That's probably, our current tanker probably has 2-3 years left on it before it hits that 40-year mark. So we're buying 7 or 8 more years at a cost of $30,000. I think the potential resale of 236 and the resale of 234 would cover the cost of purchase plus the transition, because it doesn't come with a radio. We gotta put a radio in it, we gotta re-letter it, things like that. So bottom line, they're looking at it right now. I don't know if we wanna put a bid in on it, but if we do, we have to put a bid in this week, because they have a very short bid window. So all I'm asking for the board is that if that team comes back tonight and says that this is a good deal, this is a good purchase, and we wanna put a bid in for $30,000 or less, because the starting bid is 25,000. So it would be, we wouldn't pay more than 32, I don't think would be our absolute highest, if they come back and say it's in
You think
phenomenal condition.
we can get a motion from the board to go up to 35?
I would like to do 35,
Is that reasonable?
that would cover our
request? Or
transition
do
costs.
you wanna go 40 just?
No, we talked to our executive board, and we decided 35 would be the most that we would ask for. But we'd like to do a public announcement, just in the event that we do get to that point, we do put in a bid, so that in 30 days that we could do that. Now, if we don't, if we, later tonight, they say, hey, we don't wanna do it, we can easily cancel it, but if we do wanna go forward, we'd like to just move forward with that
We'd
tonight.
have to advertise because it's going out of reserves.
Right, 'cause it's coming out of the reserve.
So do we go ahead and make a motion that we can at least make bid on the apparatus up to $35,000?
Yep,
We get a motion?
Yes.
One.
I'll make a motion that we can go up to 35,000 for a bid on the fire truck, whatever it is.
The tanker with automatic and with the pump at 2,000 gallons. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then Lionel, if you do win it, then let Alyssa know, she can schedule a hearing
Yep.
and advertise it, or let us not advertise it once we have to.
Is there a, like a Cali Blue Book value for fire trucks, or is it just?
not really, there's not, because each one of them is customized for that department. I mean, but we spend a lot of time looking at a lot of used fire trucks, so we kinda know, we have a pretty good idea, what we're going for. And I mean, something like this, 5 years newer, would put you in the $100,000 range. So if we could get it for under $30,000, it would be a very good deal. It would kind of be like a steal, like we did with the other one, we feel, at a much cheaper cost. And if it can get us 10 years, I mean, it would be worth our while.
So I got a question, Chief. If the existing tanker, which I understand is a gravity feed that goes into a temporary pool that we have to put a pump in and then service, does the water then and the pool go to another pumper truck that creates
'Cause
pressure?
another pumper has to draft it out of it.
Draft it out of
you
it.
know.
So would you be able to go straight from this potential vehicle to a hose to the fire? Or does it still have to go to a?
No, it could, it has a pump on it, but it's not really designed for it. We have pumpers that are much better, it doesn't carry a lot of hose to go direct
Right.
to a fire. I mean, technically, yes, with a pump it could do that, but it doesn't carry a bunch of hose for that purpose. It carries hose to feed a pumper.
Understand, okay. Okay, anything else?
No, sir.
Good deal, thank you very much, appreciate your service. Any other questions for Chief Gary?
Just a reminder, Chief, as you're going forward, if you need anything from Brian or myself, let us know, please.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Chief Rose, please.
I'll just do some summary. We had a busy month, 57 calls in the month of May. And of that, we had, you can kind of see, you can go down through, we got the different mutual aid calls. It's broken down so you can look at the calls versus the transports. Every time we have a transport, that's billable, so that's income coming back into us. So just as a reference, as you're looking at it, we might go outside of Lima, but we're also, those help to keep the ambulance funded. We did one transfer home, which means that we were able to bring somebody back home to Lima. That requires 2 crews, somebody to stay in district and cover for emergencies and another crew to go out.
And that's a new opportunity that you're.
We did it we started it last year. This is the first one this year because we're so short at the moment for manpower that it's been hard to come up with 2 crews, but we got it done and that was awesome. And so that's there. Onto the next page, the base was used 10 times for community events. We're still working on options for the loan closet. Currently, we are well stocked, and we are having equipment going in and out almost every 2 to 3 days. So it's been a steady stream of things coming in as well as going back out again.
What's the percentage of kids stuff? Because I know that we are a child medical aid location is also, is how much is 50/50 or?
No, probably smaller than that. The kid stuff goes out and stays out longer. So, because those things are getting used while someone is trying to get insurance to pay for
Right.
an adaptive wheelchair or a certain bath chair and things like those. So those ones tend to go out for 6-month to 9-month durations because insurance can take a long time with denials and so forth. I'd say it's probably more like 20 to 30% of what goes in and out. But it's still hugely valuable to have that equipment and to be able to say yes when someone's looking for it. We have some new applications coming in, and all of those applicants have started doing their onboarding, so that's really awesome.
And that's the 4 that we have in front of us?
I believe so, yes.
There's
We're doing
one.
some social media push to try and get more people involved and just keep people kind of aware of the ambulance. Rigs and supplies, we've ordered new stretcher batteries. That'll be the last of the replacements. We've been slowly phasing those out because we got down to the point where the stretcher batteries are not holding a charge beyond 1 call. So we've got those ones. We purchased new AEDs. They should be arriving next week.
How many was that?
We purchased
3?
4. 'Cause
Four.
we replaced both rigs, the fly car, and then the one that's in the base itself. And they're all gonna be the same design, which means we can easily swap them in and out. They all have 5-year batteries, which is longer battery, 10-year batteries, which is a longer battery life than the previous ones. And the same thing with the pads. There's a longer life for the pads. And they are both pediatric and adult in one. There's a attenuator that adjusts. So instead of having pediatric pads and then adult pads, and thank goodness we have to throw our pediatric pads out on a regular basis because they expire. We'd never want to have to use them. This way we won't be replacing things separately. They also have a feedback device on them. So there's a puck that sits in the middle of the chest when you're doing CPR, and it will give you feedback on how good your compressions are. So that's, it's all good stuff. The pads are a little more expensive, but overall, because they're gonna give us more longevity, it's gonna make them a difference.
So they don't expire at the same rate that the old ones do?
Correct. And because we are only, like, it's one single pad unit, it's gonna be less than replacing 2 sets of pads. We got strap extenders for all of our stretcher and our stair chairs so that our bariatric patients can fit more comfortably. We still have grant applications out. HVAC system's still broken. It's June, which means the part's supposed to be in. We've been waiting since January. Really hope June is what gets us there. The great news is, it's not cold anymore, so we don't really need it till the fall, but because the AC's working just fine. Officers fixed a variety of broken things around the base. We are waiting on quotes coming back for the oxygen line that feeds our M tanks. It sprung a leak over Memorial Day weekend, and we're looking at what that's gonna cost us for replacement of that system. So
What type of line is it? Is it like
Oxygen.
a stainless steel line or
it's
PEX, poly, copper, stainless?
I don't know.
Is it metal?
It's metal. It's a hose. It's a plastic. It's a rubber hose going through with metal on the outside of it.
So it's like a braided metal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it popped a leak, and we called and around, and nobody's willing to do a replacement on it or repair on it. No one's willing to do repairs on it, so we have to do a replacement. So. Contract staff filling critical gaps. They covered 15 calls in May. 12 of them were billable transports, so that's making a big difference and taking some pressure off. We've been splitting the crews a bit, so we're not always running a paid medic and paid driver on the same shift in order to help better balance across the needs of the agency. And we also have, starting in June, where we switched days around to hopefully have better coverage with that.
So you're still, I'm sorry, Chief, excuse me, so we're still doing 12-hour EMT, but we may not have a 12-hour driver on the same shift, and that's how you're
Correct, because we
splitting
did a
them?
little bit more variation. We are having a lot of trouble with getting enough drivers at the moment, and so we split, in some cases, splitting people up, because we were able on certain days, okay, I've got a medic here, I have a volunteer, 2 or 3 drivers who can fit in, but on the other day I couldn't find any driver, so we split our crews a few times. And there are a couple of days that we picked up just driver shifts, because that's what we needed to be able to fill the schedule.
As far as paid driver shifts?
Correct. We did a lot of training in May. We had multiple core content offerings that were done. So we're working on all of that. The treatment place is still waiting on the Medicare side to come in. Once that's in place, then we can start looking at what we would be able to submit to insurance for treating someone in non-transport. We're doing that for motor vehicle accidents because the car insurance covers it. But in order to not have people be paying out of pocket for us to come out and assess or pick them up when they fall, we haven't been billing on that, but that change, we're hopeful that things will keep moving forward, that we can look at that. We found out today that our DOH approved our CAE program. So back in December, January, we talked about the fact that we were purchasing a program that would allow us to do online core content, but we had to get approval from the state to be able to use that, and today, after a few different back and forths, we got approval. So that's awesome.
Congratulations.
That'll make things a lot easier for a lot of our EMTs. On the governor's desk right now is an option to increase the volunteer tax credit. So if anyone wants to reach out to the governor and say, hey, sign that, it'd be a nice thing to do, for our volunteers. It's fire and EMS, they're raising the tax credit up to $800 if it gets approved. So, but.
I know 322 mayors at NICOM signed it.
So we're very hopeful about that. And then, yeah, we're just working on, we got some more New York State DOH protocols that are updating, so we're getting prepared to work, to be ready for those.
Awesome.
Okay.
And I'll reach out to you regarding the building.
Yes, we'll figure that out. Yeah.
I'm off the next couple of days, maybe we can find some time to chat.
Okay.
Miss Sue?
I've got a question in regards to the durable medical equipment, and you were in need of a bigger shed.
Correct.
Whatever happened with that?
So we're still working on that project, and trying to figure out what's gonna be the best solution for us. So there's an option for a donated building, but there's costs associated with that too. So we're trying to look at evaluate all the different potential and make sure that we're making the best purchase with our money. So,
We're getting there.
yeah.
We're
We
getting
do
there.
need a bigger shed. That is a definite yes. Aside from that, I don't have any other answers.
Thanks, Chief. We appreciate you, and I know you're trying to juggle a lot of the schedules and a lot of the hours, so appreciate you doing the best you can. In front of us, we have 4 different applications. I do have questions on Madison and Jocelyn. I don't see that their their position is checked. Are they?
Okay, so Madison is enrolled in EMT class, and so she will be coming on to us as an EMT once she finishes class, but, so she's just a medical training. And then Jocelyn is coming on as a driver.
Okay, and same thing with Ryan and Mike, driver. Got it. We get a motion to accept the 4 volunteers that we have applications for.
Yeah, I make a motion to, you have it written down, here's 2 driver applications, 1 EMT and 1 junior application, is that right? Or no?
I think there's 2 drivers, did you have a junior application for Will?
All I have is 4. Do you know?
Do you see Will on there?
I didn't have one.
You didn't have one for Will? No, okay.
Either way, I make a motion
Yeah,
to
we have a
approve,
junior application, we have a
approve
junior.
the application that we have here in front of us.
Yep. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
So moved.
Maybe you didn't like
Oh, who's last one? I thought it was right last month. Will was this month, but maybe we did it already. They
I've
both, they
never
came in
seen
right,
it.
they came in right at this meeting time,
Mhm.
so I wasn't sure which one we had done.
Any questions for Chief Rose? Thank you, Chief. Moving along, Dave Kirkwood, wastewater treatment plant, please.
Yeah, the big thing we had going was getting the sewers camera. It was supposed to be done last week. They didn't get finished up in Geneseo, so it got bumped to this week. Today, actually, we spent all day long doing it. Became a much bigger project than I thought it was going to be. We also had dumpsters show up, so I apologize. I did not get a board report written up, but I will get all that stuff kind of put together and sent out tomorrow. It's kind of a recap for what's going. Basically, this past month, we finished up all the regular preventative spring maintenance. I've just been trying to keep up with mowing. It's been the biggest challenge of the month, I guess. The only real big thing we had going was getting the sewers cambered and cleaned. We had concerns because when we get the really heavy rains, the sewers start backing up. They're not getting good flow. We did find, and I'll go through it with Ben, I haven't had a chance to see him about it, we got cameras of the whole thing, the main line coming in is in.
This is the line on Ziegler we talked about last meeting.
Correct.
Okay.
It's-
Yep.
Yeah, right from the last manhole before it hits the sewer plant, that whole section, for some reason it appears they switched to ductile for some reason, and it's not handling it well. And there's also, right before the end of the day, we found this section from the park driveway to the other one that's just off the driveway. Also appears to be ductile and is in pretty deplorable shape, but we were able to make some headway with the big line. We got a lot of it cleaned out. We got probably 300 or 400 pounds worth of just scale and debris out of the pipe. So hopefully that one's flowing better. But like I said, I'll go through it with Ben, trying to figure out what a game plan is going to be for doing it. Yeah, I don't know what the board or engineers, everybody's going to want to do. It's going to be a substantial project to get either of them, fixed. But I think there's options for
Get creative.
getting creative.
Maybe it's something we can put in the grant.
Yeah.
MRB, what was that one?
Mitigation, is that one we're working on?
NIREA one, but we're the only ones going through NIREA, a bunch of stuff that's opportunities for that.
Sure.
That one was supposed to be in either June or July. I think July is when that has to be, so we still have a
I
little
think
time
so.
with that. What's something we can reach out to MRB with and talk to them.
Yeah, MRB came out to the plant. They did a walkthrough just to see if there's anything they could add on that would help the grant process. He looked at everything there. I don't know what his findings were. He didn't.
Is that Dave and Pat or?
Just Dave Stenzel came out for the day and showed up. And I also did, before we had it cameraed, I just got some elevations shot of the sewer where it comes off of College through the park, and the elevations are decent. It comes real steep through the park and it shallows right out as it comes into the plant, which is I think why so much was able to build up on the pipes, because it's moving pretty slow at that point. Along with the pre-treatment, as soon as it enters the plant, forces the water to be a little bit high, because it basically filters out any debris that shouldn't go through the plant. So
Right.
it creates a little bit of a backup that way, and it's just knowing now we can jet it more often, we can come up with a plan for it. But between MRB coming out, Sewer Specialties coming out, it was $3,700. They spent all day today. It was a bear. I think it was well worth having that done. That should solve a bunch of problems. And like I said, we got some good camera footage of every inch of the pipe
That's
going
huge.
through.
That's huge. That gives you a really good vision of what to do.
Yeah, found a couple little problems. The corp where the park bathrooms comes into the pipe, there's roots growing through. So we got all those cut out, but we'll just have to keep up on.
Did Jetter take care of that?
Their big jetter did.
There did.
I'm hoping ours will be able to do it as well.
Is that 4 inch coming out?
I think so, yeah, I think a normal
Obviously,
sewer is
normal
four.
level is 4 inches, yes, it should be.
For some reason, that comes in at the only place where the pipe's gotta be 20 feet deep there.
That's just one big long run from the, wow, all the way underneath the parking lot into that main.
Yeah,
That's a long run.
yeah, it kinda comes over in the back corner where that concrete bunker is
Yeah.
for the,
The
Sand.
water's right next to it,
Yeah.
and the electric's right next to it.
And,
All three things run through between the blacktop driveway and the stone driveway, where the little corners are.
Right.
So all three things are within 10 feet of each other.
I'm gonna try and get some numbers together for next month. There are some costs that are coming up. I've tried to get quotes together. I didn't get a chance to get 3, because I know I need to get a motor for the big pumps. It's gonna be like $3,300. I know anything over 3, I gotta get 3 bids. I'll have that together for next month. In November, I gotta have the boiler torn apart. It's due for a tear down inspection. We have to get a certified inspection every year. While they're doing that, I'm gonna have the boiler company come out and do a full service of it, so that's probably gonna be $5 or $6 grand. I believe in August, our labs we need like every 5 years to do a big analysis of our sludge. That's due. I'm trying to get as much sludge as I can hauled out before that, but that's gonna come due this month. I believe that's $4,000 or $5,000 to get the labs done for our sludge. So I'm gonna try and get a list of all these upcoming purchases that are gonna be higher this year. But basically, everything's going decent.
Good.
Nothing crazy.
I'll give you some good news.
Yeah.
There was a motion on the floor in Albany that the governor increased CHIPS contributions, and they're trying to get a minimum, a start of $25,000 to go towards wastewater treatment plant for maintenance. So just like we're getting CHIPS to help with asphalt and with road repairs.
Okay.
They're contemplating putting in a wastewater treatment plant CHIPS program together.
Yeah, I've heard that they've wanted to do that for a couple of years, and I keep hearing through NIWE and these different ones to write your senator or whatever and get it done, but I haven't heard of it.
NICOM is lobbying heavy for it, so we've
Yeah.
got a lot of people working in Albany to try to get this thing moved.
There's a lot of needs for it, and
Yeah.
it's expensive stuff
And
to
even
repair,
if we
so.
could just start with something small, you know, this 25 grand doesn't sound like much, but it really helps when you're talking about buying brushes and parts and seals and motors and, you know. fitting
Yeah,
and
that's like
things
a full
that.
service for a good chunk of the plant.
Right.
It doesn't replace anything, but it maintains a lot.
Right, so we're knocking on wood for that one.
Yeah, I know Alyssa got an email as well as me. I think they're trying to get this asset management thing wrapped up. I think the DEC kind of went after the engineers because they're dragging their feet on it, so they're trying to get all that stuff done. I don't really know what the state of it is or what it's gonna help us, but they've had me sit in on a couple webinars for the software that we're gonna be using, and I think there's another one coming up in July, so we'll see if that gets up and running. And
All right. If there's something I need to sit in on with you, let me know.
they're pretty boring at this point. They're
Oh, well, thanks for taking the heat.
click this tab and you can see how to add a thing. So yeah, it's I don't know, I think it's going to increase our ability to get DEC funding because they're going to know whether we're maintaining our equipment or not.
Right,
They don't like giving out all this money and then finding out plants aren't actually taking care of it.
right.
So,
Doing preventative maintenance.
right.
Very good,
That's
Dave.
it.
Thank you. Appreciate you
Thank you,
staying on
Dave.
top of stuff.
No problem. It's been fun. Right, I gotta go.
All right, take care. Thank you.
See ya.
An alibi?
Sir?
So our team just got back and we don't need the $35,000. We're good.
You paying cash?
No. The truck's not in a condition that we would
Oh,
put it in.
okay.
So we're all set.
Well, that's unfortunate.
That was Rick calling me, telling me, don't ask for the money.
I knew it was better to come to the meeting than to go to that.
Moving along, Charlie is, was unable to attend, he's out ill. His report is, has been submitted. I request that everyone review it. If you have any questions, pursue corresponding with him directly. Ben?
Yep, since the last meeting, obviously, Memorial Day coming up, we got a whole bunch of stuff done downtown. All the street cleaning and sweeping and cleaning and power washing, and the flags and flowers all went up. We've also got a lot of our paving and potholes repaired
Yeah.
done.
A lot of compliments from the residents.
We got a lot of the streets done, we were just waiting for, it's a timing thing, you know, I mean, everybody wants us to jump out there as soon as it gets nice out, but it's a process to get to where we had to go. So we did some milling and paving and got that done. We're in the process right now doing our first sidewalk project up on Eastwood Drive. Concrete's coming tomorrow, so we'll be doing that. After we get that wrapped up, next we're gonna start working on the park, getting that ready for the 4th of July. We've already done numerous weed eating sessions. We just did another one today for a couple hours out there, getting things done. We're getting ready for mulch coming later next week to go through there. We're working on the dog park water. Parts are coming in now Monday, coming through, so we're gonna try to get
What
that.
part you need?
The hydrant for the dog park is not working. The plunger is not holding, so it runs constantly.
Oh.
Even when it's off, it's running underground. So if we can't fix it, we got a repair kit coming, we're gonna take all the guts out of it, try to replace it. If that doesn't work, then we're gonna be in to replace it, digging it up 5 feet and putting a new one in, new thrust block, everything. It's more than people think, you know, when they go out there and say, oh, well, here's just water. There's more to it, and that's why it hasn't been out. We've tried twice, trying to tighten fittings and trying to get that done.
No good.
It's something down internally with it, and I think the reason why is because it gets used so often of people pulling the plunger up and down, up and down, up and down, where they don't put it in fully closed, and it's running against a little rubber plunger, and it wears it out. So, we're gonna work on that. That's also coming up as we try to squeeze things in, to do that. The water tower is getting inspected Thursday. We have a crew coming out from Pennsylvania. They're doing the rounds. And they're going to, take care of it and do the robot inside of it, so we get a whole look at, we have to do that every 5 to 7 years. So that's getting done, and I'll let you know the findings on that. Speaking of the park, going back to that, we're having a small issue down there with the garbage cans that people have been leaving down in the pavilion. Okay? We put them down there so that when people are having parties and doing this, they can put the garbage in, or we thought it was a good idea. It is not, okay? The reason why it is a carry-in, carry-out park is so that you take the stuff with you, because when you leave garbage laying out in a pavilion area, in an open park, animals, along with other things, get in there to the stuff, and the kids might knock it over or whatever else, and we come in and we're constantly picking up and cleaning these things. So the garbage cans have been removed. They're gonna go back into the utility closet so that when we're having a 4th of July function, a Civil War reenactment thing, a pumpkin festival, you can bring them out, because then that can be used for that festival.
How many are there?
And then put back away. It's not something that we should be leaving out there, because we don't pick it up. And when it gets full, we'll take it. But in the meantime, every other day, we're having a whole bunch of stuff happening to them. So they're removed, and they're not, then we'll put them back later on. So that's the park thing, and other than that, we're still looking for summer help. The couple candidates we've had not working out for what we wanted to look at, so we're still in the process of trying to find somebody. Other than that, that's all I have.
How many trash cans are normally in the pavilion that are now in the storage?
2, we have 2 that we have confiscated.
Okay, confiscated. Got it. Yeah, I've received numerous compliments on the Ancover area for all the potholes that were being addressed, so
Yeah,
thank
we
you.
actually milled them out with the Bobcat and did it right versus just putting blacktop on top of the holes.
It shows.
Yeah,
It
we
definitely
milled it
shows.
first and then we paved it.
Very good. How does the person on I saw the sidewalks, the vehicle is on the driveway, they're not using that vehicle?
Yep, they have their the other vehicle, it's a 2-person family and they're just using one car.
Okay, I just was kind of weird, I just saw the car.
Nope, I've had contact with them on the weekends, and daily I give them updates on what we're doing.
Got it. Any questions for Ben?
Thank you for doing the patch on Maplewood Avenue, looks good.
And we did that too, yes.
Very good. Miss Alyssa?
But, we have a question for
I
you.
do have a
Oh,
question.
I beg your pardon.
I have to say something about the carry in, carry out, because I mentioned that for the pocket parks. It was noticeable. I've been to a couple events, you know, at Mark Tuck's Park Pavilion. I literally took, we had black garbage bag, or trash bags. I took all the trash home, and I'm sure Dependable wasn't too happy that I had a lot of trash in my, but I just couldn't believe it. It was a mess.
Yep.
It was a literal mess. And what is it that the community can't help with that? It's just,
They
it's
don't.
unbelievable what Ben has to go through when the community doesn't do any help
It's the same
whatsoever.
thing with the pocket parks down in the downtown
Yeah.
area. If we didn't have the garbage cans down there, they would literally just leave them under the benches. They would put the garbage in the flowers, they put them in the planters. Without the garbage cans, we have talked to the garbage can company, they have been picking it up more, you know, kind of thing. We've gone down there, personally, I've had to empty them three or four different times, that we've taken the stuff out to do it, you know, kind of thing.
I've done the same.
We've tried switching to different companies, the problem is the other companies, nobody gets out of the machines anymore, okay?
That's
So
what I said to Mary
everything
Jo.
has to be
Yeah.
where they drive up to the can
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
automated, so, but that is why we're staying with who we're using.
Yeah.
Because they have different guys who will come and actually get out and do it, it's just, they were going through something, switching over drivers, and that's why, for the beginning of the summer, they didn't have somebody, they picked it up one week and then didn't pick it up for 3. And in the meantime, we would have to go out there and we, the crew, pick them up
Yeah.
and would dump them. So, but without the garbage cans there, unfortunately, the same amount of garbage goes into the pocket parks, just it goes in your flowers.
I think Lori's got something
Yeah,
to
can there
add.
be a sign that says, this is the
Yeah, there is no
carry-in?
sign that really
Carry in,
emphasizes what.
So
carry
the pocket parks weren't carry in, carry out, that's why the garbage cans are there. There are signs at the actual park that say it's a carry in, carry out.
So maybe if we're gonna do that at the pocket parks, maybe some kind of sign, carry in,
Yeah,
carry out.
if you remove the garbage cans, you would probably have to do something like that.
Yeah.
But still, I've watched the people, you'll get a lot of doggy bags at
Yeah.
the parks, you know, that's what's gonna happen.
Oh, believe me, my trash can stunk
Yep.
for
Yep.
some
yeah.
days.
I use a lot more doggy bags than I actually need because I'm cleaning up most of the other
Everybody
people's
else's
stuff.
stuff.
Yep.
trash, yeah, dog waste. And then I just have to add to, the actual, spigot, you know, that you were talking about.
Yep, dog hydrant.
And,
we call it.
I had mentioned to Mark Tubbs, Park Commission, you know, the Facebook page, about how, when are we gonna turn it on? So thank you for the elaborate explanation
Yep.
as to why they're not on,
Yep.
because that's not the answer I got from the Park Commission.
Yeah. So as soon as it got warm enough, we opened the bathrooms, we went through the whole process.
Yeah.
Last year, we shut it down early, it was November when it was leaking, it was bubbling out of the ground. We just never got a chance to get to it from November on, you know, kind of thing. Once the spring came, we said, okay, we'll work on it. It became more involved than we thought. The first
Wow.
couple fixes we tried did not work, so we have the full kit coming to see what we can do with it.
But even the community garden, that spigot that's by the community garden,
Runs
that's
off the
not.
dog hydrant, yep. So the
And
water
so,
goes.
yeah, so the community garden, unfortunately, they can't water
They've
unless
been
they bring
taking
their
it-
water.
They have, they've been taking it from the
Yeah.
pavilion in buckets and taking it out of there, but nothing we can do with it. That's a long stretch to get out there to have a
Yeah.
dog hydrant, to have where, it's just, the problem is, people don't use it correctly. And by saying that is, you either have to have it all the way open or all the way closed. I mean, people just don't use it correctly, you know, so. But we're working on it.
Is
Working on
it possible to use a different type of,
All
valve device?
all hydrants are the same, all those little dry hydrants
Those
are
are-
about the same. So I have an idea that we're gonna work on, we're gonna have it open and put gate valves on the bottom of it. That way people can use gate valves and they'll take they won't be operating the actual hydrant itself.
Or-
But I have everything ordered for this to see if it'll work, it's just, I don't know if it'll work till we get
Yeah.
into it.
Got it.
But Lori's explanation of having, you know, some sign, maybe directions on how to use it right, something there like that
Well,
might help it.
Let's see if what you're gonna do works, and then we can pursue it from
Yeah.
there. Perfect. Any other questions for Ben?
Yes, we talked about this company that had antenna up on top of the water tower,
Yep,
and they were no longer in business.
yep.
I still have not gotten any response from them.
From DirecTV?
Mm.
It's Dish.
Dish, or excuse me.
I've sent multiple emails and I still haven't gotten anything from anyone. I think it's at 4 of them now that I've sent.
Get an Instagram, your last ditch effort before you, is it midnight tonight is the cutoff?
No.
No, we got to the 31st, yeah, we got to the 31st.
Then in order to do the water tower inspection, the water can stay in that?
Yep, yep, we go up there, they have, everything is sanitized, and it's a little robot, they open the hatch at the top, drop it in, and remote control the whole thing.
I would hope to think that if with all the remediation that we have done inside that, because.
Yes, this one should be
5
good.
years ago.
So we did it in 2019 is when we did it, so we're right at our 6-7 year match.
Was it done in 1920?
2019-20, yeah.
Because that's when I came in.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, moving along, Ms. Alyssa?
Just a couple things, tax collection has started, bills are due, or payments are due by July 1st to not receive a penalty. I have finalized contracts that Matt had sent to be signed for tonight, these were approved last board meeting to be signed by everyone. It's just the finalize with those red line on there, so if you can sign those, please. Do
These
we
for all-
have-
For all of us to sign.
Yeah, everyone has to
Signatures
sign
on
those.
those,
I guess Josh, this would probably be more for you. Do you know if there's any update to the scout projects that are going on at the park?
Yes.
Because I haven't received any invoices.
Yep,
for those.
so the bike racks, I believe have been ordered. And as soon as they come in, then she's gonna get us the invoice for that. And then I believe the other item, the dock, that the permit for that just came in, I think, a couple days ago.
Yeah, from DDC.
So they can start getting that all in order as well.
Thank you.
Supervisor Case is here, so did you guys get that DDC permit? Is that where it came from? Because it was sent to Jen, and Jen reached out to, the parents and said that it was received, so I don't know what's next.
I think as long as they have the permit, they're good to go.
Yeah, they were
for it.
trying to wait for funds to come in so that way they could order them, but
Okay.
yeah, I believe that they're all set now.
Okay. The next is, I have passed this out to everyone prior to the meeting. This is the resolution and authorization for the 2026, the Green Infrastructure and Resiliency Grant Program. So this is what the board agreed to move forward with at our last board meeting
Yes.
regarding the stormwater grant.
Stormwater, yeah.
So this is just a resolution moving forward, and that the village is also committing that will match at 10% for, the general fund.
And so we make
For
a
that.
make a motion to accept the resolution of support and authorization for the Village of Lima for the 2026 Green Infrastructure and Green Resiliency Grant Program. Can I get a motion, please?
Motion for all that and the expectations.
Okay, and a second, please.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved.
And then I'll send this to Marty tomorrow.
Melissa, do you want this back so you can do all this? Do you have a copy of it for the resolution you just?
Oh, I have it.
Okay.
I don't need anything back. And then the only thing left is to approve the bills, and then, I'd like to also just add this one on here, the $3,700 for the, yeah, the sewer cleaning.
Right.
That he just gave that today, cause he just got it. And that's it.
You have the stack over there?
I have the stack over
Okay,
here,
so we
the
get
total is $215,882.10. And the reason it's high is a lot of these are our beginning of the fiscal year bills that are coming through, insurance and different things.
So can we get a motion to pay the $215,882.10?
Motion to pay the $215,882.10.
And a second, please?
Yes, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And $3,700 just to
Oh, and that-
sewer specialty
Add the
services.
3,700. So moved. You said you had something else, Melissa?
Nothing.
I have the, is this just a copy of the, what's this other resolution?
That's in the minutes from last time.
Oh, that was the last thing, the Civil War reenactors, excuse me. Got it. Board reports, I actually have, I'm not gonna duplicate what we already know. 4th of July has been going perfectly. Everybody's committed. I've got 25 craft vendors that have agreed to come in. I went to Fanatics on Sunday, they had a craft artisan show there. Every one of the craft vendors that were there are committed to coming, which is just ridiculous. It's awesome, and I've had phone calls from 15 others, so we're looking darn near 40 craft vendors. They'll be setting up between 11 and noon, staying as long as they'd like. The food trucks have all confirmed. How many cars do we have registered? Do you have an idea for the
Yeah, I
Mercury's?
said about 15, but there's more than that.
15, yeah,
Yeah.
there's more coming. So I've reached out to a lot of people individually who have hot rods, and they'll be coming along as well.
And
Yeah.
can I add a little?
Yeah.
That is, vehicles that are actually even under repair, that need maybe even be towed in there, you have the whole section that's vehicles for sale, and this is even a tractor that might be, need of repair. Will be a section, there'll be a red, white, and blue patriotic section, and then all the others.
Cool, that's really exciting. Thanks for putting that together, Susan.
You're
It's gonna
welcome.
be something fun. Other than that, we are currently seeking the grant for, like we just mentioned on the resolution, for stormwater mitigation. We've selected 2 areas in the community. One is in front of the Family Dollar Tree, the other is on Mule. These are the 2 that are most impactful. The information was sent out. It's about to be sent in for application. There's some signatures for access and easements were just acquired by Ben and myself and Alyssa through email and personal correspondence, and I think we are where we need to be, so we can get all that information out to them this week. So we found out Thursday that we need all these signatures by this Thursday, and we pretty much got it done. So good work by everybody, thank you. That's all I have. I'll yield to Ben Dosworth, do you have anything to add?
Yes, just general information, if anybody needs someone for plumbing, heating, air conditioning, his name is Pete Campbell. He's a local guy, he did our furnace, he worked on the mayor's furnace and others, he's very reasonable. Pete Campbell, and his number is 585-363-2283.
Appreciate it, Ben, thank you. Mr. Travis?
Yeah, just, with the park committee, we met a couple weeks ago looking at cameras for the park. Our cameras that are in there are pretty much done. As you know, we've had some vandalism down there recently, and so we're trying to get some more cameras. Ben's brother has been looking at that and helping us out for that, looking at probably about $200 to $300 per camera. So looking to spend probably about $2,000 to $3,000 on them. I believe that the town or the village crew has agreed to pull some wire and get us working so that.
Didn't know that just yet, but I'm sure we've been volunteered.
Yep. So they're gonna work on pulling some wire for us and replacing that wire in there so that we can get some new cameras set up in there.
Just not in the bathrooms?
No, definitely not. But leading up so that way we can see who's coming and going out of the bathroom, so that way when there's an issue in the bathroom, we know who's going in and out, so. We did vote to have Brian as the chairman and Steve Warner as the VP for the park commission, so that's good. And that is all that I have, 'cause I already talked about the scout stuff, so.
Awesome.
Mr. Mayor, I'm just gonna mention on behalf of trustee Marcellus, he sent an email.
Yes.
He can't be here tonight, obviously, but he sent an email, he wanted it noted on the record, that his contract with his company Skyport in the village is ending at the end of this year. He has submitted to the comptroller's office, for an opinion on how we should handle that. And I think it's gonna be discussed more at your next meeting, which I won't be at, but I think, he wanted it officially noted, so.
Yep.
So noted.
He included me in that email, so I'm glad he's taking the initiative to make sure we go in by the book. Any questions regarding this matter with, trustee? Gonzalez? I spit it out.
No, I don't, other than kinda citing what you wanted me to say.
Very good, duly noted. Moving along, policy and procedure, Dan Marcellus, and again, in his absence, I have been working on policy and procedure. One of the policies that we are looking at and procedures was our code of ethics. We do not have a board of ethics currently. I was told in my NICOM meeting last month that a lot of the municipalities are using the county board of ethics.
We use it on.
Yeah, well, there's, something has changed just recently. And so they're not able to support us that way. I just found that out yesterday, so we're gonna be needing to look into that a little deeper and figure out, maybe a 3-board, person, a selection committee, to try to create this, and that'll be on our agenda for the next, meeting as well. The rest of the procedures and policies regarding, the ambulance fire department and the clerk's office are in process. The ambulance has already submitted a draft proposal for volunteer ambulance and the fire budget policy. We're doing the same thing with the fire department and with the clerk's office regarding HIPAA law and Personal Information Act. So we are gathering information and comparing notes from some other communities that currently have policies in place that are like-minded and parallel what our concerns and needs are. I don't have any old business. Is there any old business that people need to bring up? Any new business that we
Yeah,
have?
one thing, we just come.
Old or new?
It's more of a new one, it's more of, I could have done it during my, report, but I forgot about it. I saw John, it made me think of something. So the brush pile up at the landfill needs to be chipped. We gotta get on chipping this. And we were up there today pushing up the pile, the town went up and they pushed everything up. We had contracts going through with a green energy company. You get it for 3 years or something like that, and then they kick you off of it because they wanna start making you pay for it. You go 2 or 3 years without them there, then usually you can get back in it. During the process of those 2 or 3 years that you're not in with them, We still have to get it chipped because we still pick up brush, we pick up a lot of brush. A lot of brush gets dropped off at the town building that we haul up there and get things done. The piles are getting almost, I don't wanna call it unmanageable, but it's past due. We should have done it last year and we did
So
not.
it needs to be chipped.
It needs to be checked. So I talked to Sean today about it, let him know we're gonna have to start looking at it, we might have to, so this year we'll probably be going off county bid for it and just get whatever the county has that's offered out there, see if we can schedule something, if we cannot get a contract set up with it. So I think he'll be bringing it to the town board at the next meeting. However, this is something that if we can get a county bid price for something in between.
Is this something we have contracted, they do all of the work themselves?
They do
or
all the
we-
work. The only time we have to go up there sometimes is that the town goes up with the loader to move some of the piles, depending on how you get it. Cause it depends on who comes in and what equipment they bring. They chip it up, they have this big tub grinder and everything else that goes through it. It goes into a pile, it then gets hauled out. Sometimes the pile has to be moved because the tub grinder and the equipment can't get to it.
So we're talking a lot.
No, usually it was under $5,000.
I know, I'm talking a lot of chipping, a lot of the.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you're talking.
So it's not something we can handle ourselves?
No, no, this is 5 to 6 tractor trailer loads,
Is that all?
yeah, going out, and that's not easy.
If you could find a horizontal grinder or something, I suppose you do yourself.
Right.
But nobody's renting those out.
Yeah, so I did mention it to Sean when we went up there today, because we're running out of room, it's just something, I think with the transition last year
Yeah.
coming through, we didn't do it when we should have,
Right.
and we probably should have done it almost a year before that, you know,
Got it.
kind of thing coming through. Now we've gotten to the point where, once again, this year started, everybody was a little short-handed, we weren't even thinking about it. Now we're into it, and everybody's bringing all the brush out, and we get up there and we have no place to put it. So it's just something that, of course, I'm assuming the town is gonna keep doing what they've been doing, and we split it 50-50 coming up, but it's just something we're gonna have to do sooner than later. So, Sean and I are probably gonna be working on looking at county bids to get it coming here for the next meeting.
I think it's a way to county equipment rental contract.
Yep, it is, and that's what we
As
go
an
off of,
operator.
yep,
Yeah.
and that's what we'll go off of when we do it. It's just before we would go get a 3-year contract that was good, but when it goes, we go through exactly what you're talking about.
My 2 grandsons helped Gladys at the end of McDonald Drive. I was shocked at the mountain
Yep,
branches and stuff.
and we took care of it
Yeah,
like
they
that.
were
And
there,
now,
there.
we got the
I
place to put
delivered her 100 pounds of pasta, and here comes the big front loader with
Yeah,
the teeth.
it was amazing.
I mean, she just literally asked me, hey, what can you do about this pile? And she was like, that's quick. I'm like, I couldn't take credit for that one. That's a man.
Yeah,
Um, There was, did you say you also picked up brush from the library?
Whenever they put it out, yeah, sometimes they have the
There was
volunteer,
a
I don't know
pile
what
in
you
the back.
call it, was a volunteer
There
library.
was a pile in the back, and I didn't know if you guys.
We have when they've told us about it, so sometimes Mr. Baker reaches out to me, and when they tell me there's something there, we go help out.
Somebody had mentioned, and I can't remember who, and said that there was a pile back there, so.
We can take a look at it.
This is done. There's the joint meeting, with the town, we've scheduled for the 7th.
As long as you guys can make that work. Yeah.
7 July, so, I'll ask Alaska to put out a broadcast email to all trustees so we can confirm that date. At 6:30. So put it on your calendar tentatively, and if trustee Smith and Marsalis can concur, then we'll have the joint meeting then. And it'll be hosted by the town. I have no other new business. Any public comments at this time before we close?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I have comments. Good evening, everyone. My name is Mark Petrowski, I live on Poplarville Road. I'm a town resident, but I'm also a taxpayer in the town that contributes to the Lima Volunteer Ambulance, so I think I should really be able to express some comments on that subject here at this meeting. I made these comments at the May town board meeting, and asking around, it didn't seem like those comments got back to you guys. And so I thought it was worthwhile to come in and share the same comments with you. We won't have as much substance since 2 of your board members are not present, but I'm sure they can watch the video and they can hear what I've got to say. 2 things can be true at the same time. Lima Volunteer Ambulance, LVA, can on the one hand provide basic service, on the other hand have serious leadership, transparency, and ethical lapses. Steve Warner has provided glowing reports about the LVA at town board meetings, Such reports are nice, but do not facilitate a discussion about what needs to be discussed relative to the LVA. As I make my remarks, please consider your answer to this basic question. Can an ambulance service be called volunteer when it's paying its staff? Last year, the town board was approached about increasing the LVA contribution so that they could hire new staff to relieve the pressure on overly allocated volunteers. As we've been told, some small percentage of the LVA staff respond to the majority of calls, with daytime shifts being the course they have to fill. Despite that, LVA published a letter stating that they, in actual fact, have no problem covering about 99% of their calls. So what's going on? Now, a side note, I volunteered because I wanted to help give back to my community. As a driver, I was helping to relieve the daytime shift stress because it worked with my schedule. Last November, I was falsely, in my opinion, harassed for my performance. Why can I say this? Because every EMT I worked with complimented my driving and support. But rather than fight back, I resigned. Seems like if they really needed daytime help, they would have tried to keep me on the staff. Nobody even tried. Before you consider giving the LVA even more money, I would ask that you investigate what's going on and whether the leadership is acting in accordance with what they pitched to you. I have recently spoken with a 100% reliable source and understand that LVA has not brought on new paid staff. What's happened is that former volunteers quit so that they could be rehired as paid staff. To the extent that that is going on, I can say that this any more clearly is what we ought to call bait switch. Okay, bait switch. And exactly what I was not willing to vote for on the town board. I was assured that there was no plan to rehire volunteers as paid staff. It wasn't going to happen, but it is. It is not solving the problem, and that is starting us down a path of making LVA a fully paid Lima ambulance, and this community simply cannot afford it. It's time for this board to start looking to work with other ambulance services that provide service with more highly trained staff. We only provide basic life support EMTs, where we could work with advanced life support paramedics. I'm an advocate of setting up a working relationship with Livingston County EMS, one that does not seem to exist presently, so that daytime shifts are picked up by the county and LVA stays in LVA. No more paid staff. If this is orchestrated in a reasonable and planned way, it can be done. What won't help is the collapse of an ambulance service that gets dumped onto LCEMS with no planning at all, causing stress on service and lack of staffing. This is what has been happening all over Livingston County, and one reason why the county is struggling. The town can contract for ambulance services, but I don't believe they are obligated to provide an ambulance service like the village does. Whomever the town decides to work with cannot and should not be obligated to some unreasonable level of response. Yes, it is important to get on scene as fast as possible, but that's all. Arguing that our only choice is to have a service that responds in a few minutes belies the fact that we are really better off having an ALS service, even if they arrive moments later. At the April Town Board meeting, it was announced that 40% of the LVA calls were out of district in March. That is going way above and beyond mutual aid. The Lima community should not be financially supporting this kind of coverage. It's one thing to occasionally cover someone else's district, I get that, but 40%? The town already unwound the financial commitment for a school resource officer that should never have been funded by the town. They do not now have the money to be the ambulance service for neighboring municipalities that are covered by the Livingston County EMS. This should be investigated and documented to determine what Lima taxpayers are paying for before more funds are given to LVA. At a recent town board meeting, board members started laughing and joking about ethics. Well, I want to know how an ethics complaint should be submitted because I believe there are ethical lapses in the LVA that should be investigated and addressed. One example is the loaning of the fly car to staff who were having car trouble. This should never happen. The fly car was taken out of the service of the community while being used as personal transportation. No one is going to loan out a fire truck for such a reason. Since taxpayers are funding operations at the LVA should act in a way that respects that. I have other more serious concerns from past public actions by staff and leadership of the LVA that everyone conveniently forgets about because elections are over. At a public meeting, LVA staff threatened that service could be withheld. That threat was recorded. If we have to start worrying about whether we get served or get served well because of politics, that is a very bad place to be and needs to be expunged from LVA permanently. The LVA has been acting as a political organization or political action committee since at least 2024. In my opinion, staff have affected 3 elections now. The leadership and staff have used the good name of the LVA to promote certain political candidates and disparage others. The Lima Fire Department takes great pains to keep themselves out of politics. LBA should do the same, and is probably obligated as such both legally and ethically. In the interest of time, I won't continue with the various issues and problems I've seen, except for one more thing. Financial transparency. We are providing taxpayer funds to LBA, but other than getting a wish list for future wants, the town has never seen their books. Have you? There needs to be full disclosure of their financial books, so we know money is being spent as stated, and that procedures and controls are in place to monitor that spending. There needs to be a full and impartial audit of the LVA to review money received and spent. That should be the basis for deciding if more funds are needed from the taxpayer. To be clear, two things can be true at the same time. The LVA is meeting 99% of its calls in Lima and providing good care to most people. But they're also acting politically, being hateful to certain people, hiring from within, giving significant cash incentives to members, and apparently spending more than 1/3 of their efforts outside the town of Lima. This board should fully investigate LVA, its leadership ethics, and transparency before allocating to them any more taxpayer money. Thank you.
Appreciate your insight, Mark. Thank you for taking the time for preparing that. I heard everything you said and take it with concern and consideration. Any comments to Mark, Mr. Petrowski? Any other comments from the public?
Didn't you guys have a committee that looked at the books of?
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
So you guys already have knowledge of what the books are?
And we continue to review them on a monthly basis.
Yep. And Ben, how many times have you needed the ambulance recently?
Once.
Okay.
Mhm.
Hmm. Okay, that's all I have to say.
No problem. I don't have anything else. If there's no more comments, I get a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming. I'll just put them in there.